Well, hello, everybody. My name's Casey Salgi. I appreciate you making a few moments to sit with me here. I'm going to get into my story here so we're not complete strangers, but you might be wondering, why am I watching this guy on this video? So, we obviously don't know each other, but the chances are that you were speaking with somebody that I work with. And these folks are absolutely amazing. I've enjoyed working with the entire organization, and there's a good chance that you were in a conversation with one of my team members. And at some point, you were having in this conversation, something came up. You started sharing some information with them, they were sharing some information with you. And chances are, one of a couple of topics might have arisen. There's a chance that you might have gotten into a conversation talking about money, talking about wealth, a way to be able to maybe earn some more income, or maybe have some extra income coming into your bank account. There's a chance that the conversation was around health, and how you know somebody that might need a little extra health in their life, or maybe it is you, and that piques your curiosity, and they ask you to take a look at this as well. It could have been also something around the lines of, you don't really have enough time to be able to go do what you want. You might be working too many hours. You might own your own business and constantly working. And I definitely know what it means to be busy. Definitely know what it means to not have enough time to do all the things that you have on your list. And it could have been a fourth item, and that was significance. Being able to do something that actually means something. We work so hard so often at things that really, when the day comes to a close, you look back and you reflect on it and you go, yeah, maybe I added a little bit of value, but is it really something that, they're going to put a statue up about me? And a lot of people say, oh, that's just not something that can be done. But, if it's something that you desire and it's something that you're looking for, you've come to the right place. So chances are it's one of those four items that was in a conversation. And then at some point, probably the conversation went along the lines of, well, if you want to fix that, then I want to introduce you to a guy. And I'm that guy. So my name is Casey Salgi. I appreciate you again for being here and spending a few minutes with me. And what I want to do is I want to share just quickly my background. I want to see if it might resonate with you. And obviously my story is not going to resonate with everybody, but I bet there's going to be parts of it that are going to resonate. The other thing that I want to go ahead and tell you up front is that I'm here to help you. I am here to pass along some information that I've learned in my journey. And that information has made a tremendous difference in my life. And it was a long journey to get to here. But now that we're here, what I want to do is make sure that I can share that out with others and bring value to you. So, with that said, my journey, my story is that, I'm from Houston, Texas, born and raised here. I work in corporate America currently, and I do this. I do a lot of different things. I have a lot of different businesses that I have on the side. But one of the things that I learned was residual income was something that I really wanted to be able to experience. And I went down a path of trying to find that. I had a big moment, and you might relate to this, especially if you live in a big city, and it was around traffic. Uh, where I worked, I had to drive at least 35 miles to be able to get to my place of employment. And there was a day where it was a Monday, I was in traffic, and that happens a lot here in Houston, and it happens way outside, away from Houston. I live in the suburbs, and it was going to be probably an hour and 15, hour and 20-minute commute. And you can tell that by where the traffic starts. Some days are lighter and it's only an hour. Some days are worse, but this was going to be a pretty bad one at an hour and 20 minutes or so. And I come to a complete stop. And when I come to that complete stop, it's Monday, and I look over and I'm like, oh, goodness gracious. I look over to my right and I see a gentleman in a white vehicle, and he's not going anywhere either. And you ever have that moment where you look at somebody, you just know they're having a pretty bad day? Well, this guy did not look like he was too happy to be in traffic. And I realized I wasn't too excited about it either, but he was having a bad day. So anyway, next day, go through that day, of course, just like any other. Next day, come up on traffic again. It's Tuesday. And interestingly enough, the traffic stopped at the exact same spot. And I look over to my right, and guess who I see? My buddy from yesterday. Swear to God, I look over to my right and I see this guy again, and I just have this my epiphany of just, wow, 2 days in a row. What's going to happen tomorrow? What's going to happen next week? What's going to happen next month, next year, 5 years, 10 years, 15 years from now? Am I still going to be grooving a rut in this pavement, going to a job that I don't feel a whole lot of significance in? I make okay money, but I don't get to go do what I want when I want. And I don't make enough money that I can go do what I want when I want with whomever I want, whenever I want. So, I had those moments of I was looking at that and what was going to change? What was going to be different? So I don't know where I caught you in your life. I don't know what you've got going on. Maybe you are just, graduating high school. Maybe you are retired after working in the workforce for 40 plus years. Maybe you own your business. Maybe you own multiple businesses. Maybe you are unemployed. I don't know where I have found you, but I do know, or you wouldn't be watching this video right now, that you're looking for more. You desire more. And I want to share with you something that I found. And by finding this, it has allowed me to put a check mark in those boxes for things that I wanted to, that I desired to be able to change. So when I got started on my journey looking for what I was looking for, I thought about maybe going back to work or going back to school, get a degree, get another degree. I have one already, and maybe becoming a dentist. I had a real good roommate, a good friend, roommate that was a dentist. He went and did the same thing, went into a lot of debt to do that, was making really good money, $30,000 plus a month as a result of that. But I looked into that, and I looked at the debt that it was going to take to be able to go back to school, and wife and a couple kids, so that's going to be difficult to do as well. So that really didn't inspire me, and I looked at a lot of different things. What I realized was that it wasn't that I needed more money. I needed to make the money differently. I needed to have the money come in a different fashion. I was working for money in a linear fashion. I was trading my very precious time for that money. And it didn't matter what I did that day, for the most part. If I just, really got after it that day, or I just kind of slacked a little bit that day, I was going to get paid the same amount for that work that I was doing. And I needed to find something different. I went down the real estate path, did okay with that. I learned a whole lot of skills, and I won't bore you with all the details on that, but 2 houses later, 4 years later of saving up for those 2 houses, $60,000 invested, and when it was all said and done, I made $260 on the first one a month and $340 on the second one per month. Nobody claps during this part of my presentation. So $600 a month in residual income, but I was absolutely hooked, and I really, really enjoyed how that money was coming in. About that time, a good friend of mine called me up. We grew up together, and he shared with me a way to earn some additional residual income. And I really appreciate him for being able to do that. And he introduced me into a profession that I am absolutely in love with, and something that I have learned some skills on, and we've done well with that profession. So I got started with an organization with him, and we built a business up that did very well. There was about 350,000 people in that organization. And out of that, we were in the top 350 out of that 350,000 for that company. And so that puts us in the top 0.1% with that company. Now, I don't say any of this to impress you. I say this to let you know that we've learned some things. We are coming at this from an expert perspective, not somebody that just got started last week and trying to explain a whole bunch of stuff to you. So when we made that success, that actually landed us on the cover of Success from Home magazine, not 1 year, but actually 2. And it was a huge accomplishment. We were very, very excited about that. And we attribute that to our team and what we were able to teach that team and work together in a synergistic way. So that was super exciting. That lends me to this part of the story. So when we made that cover, a lot of people came out of a lot of different places and reached out to us. It's kind of like if you win the Super Bowl, then everybody wants you to come play for their team. And we had done well. I'd actually got my wife retired from being a school teacher for 10 plus years. And we moved into a new house and some new toys, some new cars, a lot of great trips. And not just those not those just one day I'll get to it type trip. This was the someday that we actually went and got to take, and we had several of those that we were able to do. So it was very, very exciting. And when everybody reached out to us, they were offering opportunities. And one of the things that I realized when I was sitting in traffic and saw my buddy over to my right was that the choices that I had made, and this is a key moment in my little my talk here with you, is that I was at the position I was based on the choices that I had made. I was there because I chose to be there at that point. By the choices I made at every decision point coming up to there, that's why I was there. And I realized that I didn't know everything. If I knew everything, then why was I sitting in traffic on a Tuesday seeing the same guy that I saw the day before. And so I had to open my mind. I had to see what else was out there, because with all my great, stubbornness and that I know everything, it got me to that point. And that point was good, but I desired so much more. And if I desired more, I was going to have to do something different. And to do something different meant I needed to look into things that I didn't know everything there was to know about them. And that was a very, very, very powerful lesson that I learned. And because of that, anytime an opportunity arose and presented itself, I investigated it. I took a look at it because I realized I don't know everything. I don't know everything that is out there. So I looked at everything that came my way. Now, here's the other thing. I'm really good at evaluating companies. All right. Where I work in corporate America and what I do, I have a skill set in that. And I have no problem telling people no. I have no problem telling them why what they were showing me was no good, or saying, hey, what you got is really awesome, but it doesn't beat what I'm doing. And why would I go get started with you when I'm already at the top of the food chain on this one? And so that was how it went for many years. About 2 years ago, a real good friend of mine that I went to school with called me up. He's a very successful businessman in Fort Worth, Texas, and he does roofing up there. Does about $4 to $5 million a year in roofing, so very successful. And always running into different business opportunities. We have a mastermind. We're always talking, sharing ideas. Some of his are just absolutely crazy. Some of them are amazing, and I'm sure he thinks the same with some of my ideas that I share with him. But he reached out to me and he said, Casey, hey, I need you to take a look at something for me. And I said, okay, what you got? And he said, well, I don't know. It's the stuff you take. It makes you feel better. And I want you to look at the company because it's in your space. And, you're on 2 magazine covers and they sure didn't put you on there for your look. So, a real good friend of mine. And I said, okay, I'll take a look at it. But what the heck, man? That's your sales pitch to me? You don't know what it is. It just makes you feel better. And I said, that's crazy. You did $4 million last year in roofing, and that's what you bring. And this was another key moment. He said, I'm not trying to sell it to you. I'm trying to share it with you. You're my friend. I want you to see what this thing is all about. And I said, okay, send it on over. He said, no, we don't do that sort of thing. I don't have any of this that I can send you. But if you want to try it out, it's got a money back guarantee. Why don't you go check it out online? I said, okay, that sounds real good. I said, what if I don't like it? He said, send it back. And he said, I'll pay your shipping and handling. I'm like, man, that's pretty cool. So I know this guy. I trust this guy. And I decided I'd give it a try and see what it was. And so it shows up, I give it a try, and I found out that I read the ingredients to see what it was, because my buddy, he'll try just about anything. I'm at least going to read it. And when I got done reading it, I could actually read it. I could pronounce all the words. They weren't big words. They were simple things that I knew, like broccoli, spinach, kale, wild Alaskan blueberry, fish oil, things like that. When I saw the fish oil part, I called my buddy back and I said, man, I don't do fish. I'm not a big fan of it. I sure don't like fish oils. They stink. That's not my thing. He said, you're a baby. And then he said, try it anyway, and you're not going to have to worry about it because it doesn't smell bad. There's no taste to it. There's no burps, none of that. I said, okay. So I started taking the product, and we'll get into that on what all the products are here in a little bit. But immediately I noticed 5 days later of taking this, the 5th morning I woke up, it was daylight. I slept through the night. Huge thing for me, because I was unable to sleep through the night for quite some time. It was about 2.5 years I was dealing with that. I thought it was just stress and all the things going on. I can't shut this brain off. It's going 800 miles an hour. And so for me to be able to sleep through the night was a really magical, beautiful thing. But here's the deal. I'm a skeptic. I'm a skeptic by nature. I'm a skeptic by trade. I have 42 people that report to me on a global basis, all trying to tell me how great their projects are doing. And I got to sniff out, what the truth of the matter is. And so that's how I am. And so next day, same thing. Next day, same thing. This goes on for 4 or 5 mornings that I wake up and I slept through the night, and that hadn't happened in a long time. And if you ever dealt with that on not sleeping, you know what I'm referring to. I pass out at midnight from exhaustion. I get up at 3. Not that I wanted to get up at 3, but I'm up and I can't go back to sleep. And then I nod off and I wake up, nod off, wake up. And this went on and on and on all throughout the night, and I didn't get any rest. And that had been going on for a long time. So again, the sleep through the night, big deal for me. So after about 4 or 5 days of this, I'm like, okay, what is in this stuff? I know what's in it because I read the ingredients, but why is this causing this to happen for me? And I realized that it was simply a matter of me not getting the right nutrition in my body. And that was all there was to it. I start putting the right fuel in my body starts doing what it's supposed to do. And that was huge for me. So then I got some interest in this thing. I start passing it out, handing it out to friends and family. As a result of this, my mom no longer dealing with blood pressure issues. Her doctor's taking her off all of her medication for that. Her doctor's taking her off all of her cholesterol medication. She's no longer taking Advil or Tylenol for her arthritic pain because she doesn't have that anymore. And so I saw that and I'm like, this is awesome. This is really amazing. So then I started digging into the business. And this is what I want to share with you. I want to share with you why, when I got done digging into this and doing the research that I did, why I saw that this was different, why I saw that this was unlike anything that I had seen. And I promise you, I have seen more than most, and I've investigated more than most. And this absolutely resonated with me. And I want to share that with you. It's not hype. It's not anything other than facts of what happened with me. And I believe you will resonate with that. And I want to share that with you. And here's the intent. When I get done with this, I'm going to pique your interest, and you're going to be wanting to know more information, or you're going to at some point, say, not my thing. And I'm completely fine with that either way. But here's what I highly, highly encourage you. Don't be like me sitting in traffic, passing over opportunities repeatedly. Don't have a knee-jerk reaction that you think you've done this before, or you've seen something like this, or you've participated in something like this, or this is just like that, or it's one of those things, or this, that, and the other. Do the investigation and hear me out. That's all I ask. And I mean that. I want to stand up for you so that you don't think, and here's the deal, when you get done with everything I'm going to say, you're not going to say no to what it is we do. It's going to make too much sense to you. That is my intent. And if I do a good job on that, I'm going to pique your curiosity where you're going to want to go dig into this because it's going to blow your hair back. And when you get there, I want you to go all the way through. I want you to see all of it. Because people don't say no to what we do. They say no to what they think they have to do if they choose to join us in what we do. I'll say that again. Nobody says no to what we do. They say no to what they think they have to do. And that's based on your observations, your experiences, and the different things that you do. If you've ever, burned yourself on a stove before, if you've done that, it doesn't feel good. And after you do that, you don't want to go do that again. Now, here's the deal. If you have burned yourself on a stove, that didn't mean that you stopped cooking forevermore. Or maybe it did. Maybe you burnt yourself so bad that you will never go cook another meal again. I get it. If that's the case, I'm sorry that happened to you. And I hope you are able to get over that and be able to cook yourself some food down the road. Maybe a relationship. Have you ever been in a relationship that just didn't work out so well? Maybe they were just a little batty. Now, here's the deal. Did you swear off dating forevermore? No. You found out what you didn't like in that experience. And then you look to not repeat that experience. You don't swear off dating ever again. And that's what I want you to do. I want you, if there was something that, if anything I say triggers a reaction or an emotion or a memory of something that you have done in your past that you weren't successful with, hear it all the way through and see if it was because of the way that we do it. It's the same way that you did it. I doubt it. I highly doubt it, because the way we do things is completely different than anything I've ever seen before. And that's why we're having the success that we are. So hear me all the way through on that. That's all I ask. So let's dig into the 6 main reasons of why I called my friend after about 3 weeks of going through this investigation and called him back and say, not only should you do this, I'm going to come do it with you. So the first thing is the founders that we are partnered with. Whenever you get started in one of these types of businesses, it's usually somebody that's done this before. Maybe they're on a couple magazine covers. I don't know. Maybe they got a couple $1 million in the bank from what they were able to achieve. But they're people that have done that, and they're not traditional business owners that are getting this type of thing started. I have no problem with that. God bless you for getting after it and trying to make something and create something like that. But I'm not walking away from what I've already built to get started with that. Some people like that startup thing. I know that 95% of them are going to fail in their first 5 years. It's just statistics. I'm a very big numbers guy. I look at risk from a percentage perspective, and that's all there is to it. Take the emotion out of it. 95% of all businesses are going to fail in their first 5 years. If they make it through their first 5 years, 95% of those that happen to make it are going to fail within their next 5 years. This company has been around for 11 years. The founders of this company, there's 3 of them. They are multi-billionaires with a B. There's 3 founding families. And that's very important to know who it is that you're in business with. Wouldn't you agree? A lot of people jump in because it sounds great, wonderful product, but who is it that you're actually working with? What is it that they do? What's their track record? These guys, there's 3 of them, 3 families. And the first 2, they're brothers, and they have one of the largest oil and gas distribution networks in the Western Hemisphere, partnered with Phillips 66. Traditional business owners. They own commercial real estate, so much real estate. They are absolute unbelievable businessmen. Okay. The other gentleman is, and that's Kirk and Jim Hansen. The other gentleman is Mr. Carl Taylor. And this guy is absolutely amazing as well. He is huge into the farming and agricultural side of things. All right. So let me give you an idea, sense of scale. If you've ever heard of Taylor Farms, that's the guy. If you've ever been to Chick-fil-A or Five Guys Burger and you had a French fry, you had one of his potatoes. Okay. We're talking millions of pounds of potatoes coming out each week of the ground. That's the type of size and scale we're talking here. One of the largest potato farmers on the planet. Okay. These three families, they have never, ever, ever failed in business. They have never went bankrupt in a business. They have never sold a business. They have never went public with a business. That's huge. They're a debt-free company. These owners don't take any money out of the company. Here's the deal. If you had $40 billion, does the pursuit of your 41st billion get you out of bed in the morning? No, you're good. It's the significance. It's the significance of what these gentlemen offer, what they're trying to achieve, and that is the heartbeat of our company is the charitable organization that they've put together for this. Their mission is to feed starving families all around the world. Their other mission is to be able to help people who maybe didn't have all of the opportunities afforded to them, to give them an opportunity that they can plug into and absolutely change their destiny and the course of their family's destiny. That's what these gentlemen are in it for. They're not somebody that's looking to cash in. They're not somebody that's looking to cash out. All right. What these guys are for is to build something that is generational. And that's how they operate. They don't sell their stuff. They keep it within their family. They don't take a penny out of this business, folks. That is absolutely huge. So when I saw the type of people that I was in business with, I was very excited about that. The other thing is they've been in business for 11 years. I think I might have mentioned that. 11 years. It's not some startup that's trying to figure everything out. They're already in 63 countries. Do you know what it takes to open up a business just in your own hometown? Do you know what it takes to open it up in another state? Do you know what it takes to open it up in another country? Do you know what it takes to do that in 62 other countries? It's incredible what these gentlemen and their families have already done with this business. And I had never heard of them. And when I realized that, I was like, how have I not heard this? This company went crazy. Well, it's a US-based company out of Idaho Falls, Idaho. It went crazy in Asia. It went crazy in Europe. And then it really started getting crazy here in the United States here about 4 or 5 years ago. And why is that? And that lends us to the next thing is the products that we're offering. The products that we're offering, and there's only 2 products that we offer. Folks, most of these companies have a catalog that is literally hundreds of pages, and there's so much stuff in there, and you got to store all this stuff, and you got to try to sell it to people. That's not what we do. That's not what we're about. That's not what we're trying to achieve. We have 2 very simple product lines that are literally the best in the world, and they just focus on what they're the absolute best, and that's all they do. And they're the best of it, and that's it. It's so powerful. It's simple that way. It's wellness simplified, wellness from the inside and out. So the 2 product lines, I've got some videos that we can talk about that, to go into details, but just real quick, one of them is a nutraceutical product. It's so simple. That nutraceutical product is called the Triangle of Health. It's got 3 things. It's got a juice that you take. It's 1 fluid ounce. You take that in the morning. I've got a little guy running around here in the other room. He's just about to be 3. He's been taking it now for over 2 years. Loves it. Absolutely loves it. 22 superfoods that you're getting just like that. Next item we have is something called Nitro. It's based on a very special fruit called the noni fruit. And that causes some amazing, very positive things to happen in your body that are already happening, but it boosts the production of what's going on there. That is an absolute billion-dollar product all by itself. The third thing we have is the one that caused me to start sleeping, and it's that fish oil. And if you have your nose turned up about fish oil, I understand. But give it a try because there's no smell, no taste, no burps. You don't even know that you're having it. It's a little jelly bean size, cold pressed, not huge horse pill that you're used to taking. And you only have 3 of those, and you take those in the evening. And that's it. You take 1 milliliter of that noni fruit. You take the 1 fluid ounce in the morning. You take the 3 jelly bean size in the evening, and you're done. That's it. It's that simple. We have a skincare line as well. 4 unbelievable parts to this components to this product line. It's unbelievable. And here's the kicker. It's all natural. When a billionaire says, I want an all natural skincare, and all the consultants in the field say, sir, it can't be done. They said, you don't understand. I'm a billionaire. Go make it happen. They made it happen. And that's why it's absolutely dominating the entire market right now. And that just came out literally about a year and a half ago. So folks, you got some unbelievable, and that's it. That's the end of the products, 2 simple products. That's the second thing that was very important to me. The third thing that was very important to me was the payout. Let's see what this thing is about the money. And here's the deal. Most of these companies are going to pay somewhere between 10 and 15% of revenue is going to get sent out to the field, to folks like you and me. And my previous company was somewhere between 12 and 15% of what was sent out to the field. This company pays just shy of 55% of revenue. So every $100 that goes in, just shy of $55 is going out to the field. That's insane. How are they able to do that? Because they're not taking any money out of the company. Why? Because we already talked about that. That's not the significance. That's not what they're doing it for. It's absolutely incredible. Here's what they're about. It's about their charity program to feed starving families all around the world. And when you get a whole bunch of people like me that see what this can do, and they bring the skills that they have to bear on this company, and they have the absolute explosion that we are experiencing right now, and this thing is just absolutely taking off like wildfire, not just here, not just in Houston, but all around the United States, all around Mexico, all around Canada, all around the rest of the world. And with more countries to be opened, and we're just going to keep on marching across the globe. But all of that, folks, what that's going to do is it's going to intrigue people like me, and those people are going to come over, and guess what? We like being very, very generous. When you have a whole lot being given to you, you like to give a whole lot back. And that's what we get to do and partner with these wonderful business partners that we have and these founders, and be able to feed starving families all around the world and be able to do some amazing things, build schools, scholarships, being able to dig wells, being able to go on mission trips, to be able to do so many different things. That's very powerful. That's the heartbeat of the company. And so that's very powerful to me. That's extremely powerful to me. The next thing that we have is the significance of what it is that we're offering. In my previous company, I never got a phone call. It was an electricity company that I was with. And I love that company. It taught me a whole lot, and I'm forever grateful for them. But here's what didn't happen is I never received a phone call in the middle of the night by somebody that says, Casey, oh my goodness, thank you so much. You saved me $27 on my light bill, and my lights burn brighter because of you. I never got that phone call. We added a lot of value. We helped a lot of people. We did put money back in people's pocket. That was a powerful thing, and we made some pretty good money doing that. But I never got the significance. I never got a significant phone call like that. In this company, it was 19, and here just a couple weeks ago, it turned into number 20. I've had 20 of those conversations, a lot of them by phone. A lot of them, we start, dusting in the office here, and, they might be cutting onions on their side, if you catch my drift. And they're telling me, thank you. Thank you for changing my life. I no longer have to deal with this. I no longer have to deal with that. My family has got their husband back. My family's got their wife back. My kids got their mother or father back, because I'm no longer dealing with what I had to deal with before. From a health perspective, folks, there is nothing. When you don't feel good, when you're having health issues, that's all you want, is to be able to fix that. And that's what we're able to help people give their body the fuel that it needs to be able to help itself heal. And that's a powerful thing. We don't make any medical claims that this is going to, go cure this or stop that from happening. But the body, and here's the other thing, prescription drugs don't do that either. When the doctor prescribes you something, it's not fixing the underlying issue. In fact, it's causing you a whole bunch more issues. Just listen to the TV later this evening whenever you take a look at it and hear those commercials where they talk about bleeding out of your eyes, bleeding out of your nose, suicidal tendencies, and all the other side effects that you get with those prescriptions. What it does is when you give your body the right fuel, the body's going to do what it's supposed to do anyway. And that's the significance of what we get and the part that we get to play here. It's very powerful. The other thing that we have going for us with this company that sets us apart from anyone else is the done for you model. Now, it's not done without you, it's done for you. And we'll talk about that here for just a moment, because everything I've said so far, you're probably like, okay, sounds good. Yeah, this is good. And you're going to take a look at the presentation where it gives you all the detail. But you're going to start thinking about what it is that you got to do after that. You might have already started thinking, oh, I got to sell stuff. We don't sell things. Think about the person that reached out to you, the person that had a conversation with you, and they asked if you had some issue. You mentioned some issue. They verified that they heard you right. And then they asked you, do you want to fix that? And you said yes. You're tired of complaining about it. You want to fix it. So what did they do? Did they sit there and give you a presentation? No. They don't have time for that. They're busy and they're not the expert. We have a whole team of experts. We have a whole team of us that are able to have these types of conversations for you on your behalf. Here's what you have. You have trust with that person. That person that talked with you, y'all have trust. And you heard something resonated with you that, hey, you know what? Maybe this guy I'm going to talk with here might be able to help me with what I'm dealing with. Those 4 things that we spoke about in the very beginning. So if that's you, think about what it is that the person that invited you here, how much time did they spend? Probably 47 seconds on this part of it where they said, hey, if you really want to fix that, let me introduce you to somebody. And that's me. And so that's what my job is here to do, is to give you a little bit of information, see if this might blow your hair back. I hope it does, because the timing of what we have, folks, is absolutely crazy. 63 countries, just getting started here in the United States of America for the folks that are seeing this. And I don't care where you're at in the globe taking a look at this or what language this has been dubbed into. But folks, nobody knows about us yet. We have less than 1% market share. We're backed by literally billions and billions and billions of dollars. Founders that have never failed in a business, 2 product lines, and that's it. Just shy of 55% payout. A system that literally requires 47 seconds of your time and the ability to care about the other person and listen to them. Not talk, but listen. And hear them and verify that you heard them. And then ask them if they want to fix whatever they were complaining about. And if they do, put them on the phone with us and let us do what we do. And that's the done for you model. We don't talk to anybody that doesn't want to talk to us. Right now, you wanted to talk to us, and that's why you're here listening. And if all this is resonating with you and you want to be able to see more, here's what I would suggest that you do. My job here is to make sure that when you're looking at the information, you are curious to look at the information. My job is to make sure that you make it through the whole bit of information. Don't have that knee-jerk reaction that you think you've done this before. Don't think this is sales. Think about what your friend did with you to get you into this video. They spent 47 seconds and then they knew a guy. And that's all this business requires of you. If you want to do more with that, you can down the road, but that is not something that you have to do at all whatsoever. And I'm going to show you how you can make quite a bit of money that could be life-changing if you understand this very simple system that I just shared with you. So get with the person that invited you. Let them know that, hey, I want to know some more information about this. I want to know more about that product. I want to know more about this business model. I want to know how this is not sales and how I'm not going to have to do anything like that. And share with them and says, look, I'm gonna go all the way through with this and see the information. Now, if it reminds me of something or it's something I don't want to do, absolutely no problem. Thank you for your time on taking a look at this up to this point. Again, get with the person, let them know that you want to see a little bit more information, and they'll get you in front of a presentation, or maybe they'll give you a presentation right then and there if they have that skill, if you're talking to one of the leaders. But chances are they're going to refer you to take a look at a webinar, and we'll be able to share with you quickly the details about this business. My name's Casey Salgi. I appreciate you being here, and we will definitely see you at the top. Take care. Have a great day.